what the heck's a quick change? I get asked this question all the time, even from real car guys. And I guess if you're into muscle cars and modern drag racing, you may not be familiar with one. But if you're into hot rods or land speed racing, dirt track, asphalt racing, you probably are familiar with it. But I have people come up to me all the time saying they thought the rear end was out of a dump truck, or they thought the car was Volkswagen powered until they saw the front of it. So I thought I'd just give you a quick overview of what it is. I bought it years ago. I picked up a classified ad on the way to work, and I saw it in there. I called the guy at like 8 in the morning, tore out of there, went and picked it up. It was originally in a 57 Chevy asphalt car. So for $500, I got the quick change with a locker. Lots of times they have spools in them. I got tubular upper A-frames and box lowers for a 57 Chevy. Franklin spindles, hats, rotors all the way around, 5 Earhart 4-piston calipers, which I didn't end up using. They look really cool. They're these old school pieces, but they're notorious for leaking, at least that style is. And I've been told by several people not to use them on the street. So I've got 4-piston wheel welds all the way around right now. But that day I got it, I took it home. I pulled the 9-inch Ford rear end out from behind the car. I threw the quick change in there, and I said, now it's a hot rod. So let's go over it real quick. So here's the meat of it, the center of it. This one has an aluminum center with magnesium bells. At one time I had those polished up pretty, but they oxidize very quickly. This one has steel tubes in it, which worked out well for me because I've welded to it, but lots of modern ones have aluminum tubes to reduce unsprung weight. Up here in the front, where you would typically have the pinion on a normal rear end, is just a shaft. So the input comes through this shaft, and this shaft runs all the way underneath the ring gear, or beside it rather, back here. And there is a heavy bearing here, and there's one here, one in the cover here, and one in the cover here. And so this shaft comes all the way through. It is splined, and a straight cut gear, where the beautiful whine comes from, slides onto that shaft. And then the pinion is actually backwards in this thing. The pinion comes in here to the ring gear, and it is also splined, and a gear slides onto it. These two gears are meshing, and so the power is driven through that shaft up to this gear, to the pinion. And if you want to change the gear ratio, you simply remove these 6 bolts, slide this cover off, and change these 2 gears. Now they're in sets because of the size, the diameter have to work out. But you can, in a matter of minutes, go from a 250 up to like a 10-to-1 gear ratio. So that's why it's called a quick change. Pop the cover off, pop the gears off, slide the new ones on, put the cover on, put whatever oil you spilled back in it, and you're ready to go. And that's a quick change rear end.